I saw Penny today.
You talked to her?
So close. Just a few weeks away from a real, audible connection.
Shut up and sit down.
Coming to you from a hurricane in Claremont, Florida. It's episode 22 of Podcast 42. I'm Chris.
I'm Nicole.
I'm JL.
And I'm James.
If we're not here next week, it's Irma's fault.
Blame Irma.
I won't be here next week. She's already claimed me.
Where are you going, Nicole?
Wow.
I'm going to New York. I was supposed to be leaving next week, so I would have been here for next Wednesday's episode. But with this lovely weather we're about to have over the weekend, I've decided to leave early, so I'm leaving tomorrow.
Bye.
See ya.
You didn't want to stay for a hurricane party?
Nope.
I didn't think about that scheduling-wise.
Surprise.
You know,
Surprise,
Bye,
Nicole
Chris.
quit. This is it. Bye, Nicole. See you in a month.
it's amazing how the hurricane's going to affect the bunker.
Yeah, you think it wouldn't since it's a deep underground in the heart of Claremont, Florida.
But, you know, once you hit, what is it now, Category 5?
Yeah, and plus you can't, for those who aren't familiar with Florida, you can't actually dig underground, so our bunker is rather,
Yeah.
rather insecure as it is.
Florida's just one giant sinkhole. So.
And that's what we record out of.
But you know what you need for every good hurricane? Good beer.
Yay.
All right, let's open up that beer cooler. What you got?
I went and got Goose Fest beer from Goose Island.
Ooh, I like Goose Island.
I do too. They're usually pretty good. Their IPA is good. The 312 is amazing.
I agree with that one completely.
I had a Goose Island once. I liked it, but I don't remember which one. It was the one at work.
312.
Oh, okay. That's what you just said.
I wouldn't like to go to an island of geese, though, because that'd be kind of scary.
And it would be messy all over the ground.
That would be like lots of, yeah. Come on then, Chris. Rate the label.
Actually, I really like the label. It's pretty simple, but I'm going to give this label a 6.
Wow.
Is it because they have a German Stein on it?
It's got nice coloring. Yeah, German Stein. That's pretty cool. My dad used to collect those. It's simple, but it's powerful. Yeah, 6. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be super fancy to get a 6.
Simple but powerful.
Yeah, like me. What's the name of this thing? Fest
Beer.
Like fest.
Because
Festival.
Oktoberfest has officially started.
Yay.
In September.
I'm reading the label here and I'm getting a little nervous.
You know, don't judge Oktoberfest for being in September because that's when it actually is in Germany.
It starts
It's not in October. No, it's all. So I'm pretty sure it's completely done by the time October rolls around. See, they've had to move it up every year because the weather in October is not good enough to have an outdoor festival. So it actually takes place in September.
You've been schooled on German lore.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I know this because I was there last year.
In October.
Anyway,
In September.
Back to my nervousness. It says toasted bready malt.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean, JL? What are we in for?
It's going to be chunky.
It's supposed to be a traditional Oktoberfest beer. So, I don't know. It looked good.
I like Oktoberfest.
I do too.
Just smell it, because I just try to smell it and I can't smell anything.
It smells like toast, actually.
But, like-
it smells exactly like toast.
It smells like beer.
All right.
Who's first?
All right, JL, I think you should go first. You never go first.
All right, I'll go first. But just remember our nice grading system, all right? We go 1 to 6. 1 meaning that's all you're going to have, kind of like last week's beer, and 6 being a whole 6-pack.
All right. He's swishing. He's swallowing.
That's good. That's a good one. Way better than last week's.
Well, that's not hard. I could suck on a rock, and that would be better than last week.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know.
my gosh.
But yeah, this is good. Good flavor. Nice traditional beer. I go 6.
Wow.
Woohoo.
Intriguing. I'm excited now.
Impressive.
All right, Mr. Excitement. Go
I know.
for
I'm
it.
so excited. I'm going to carry on. Oh, yeah, that's great. That's a really good beer. And it has like it has a very toasty finish. You're not going to like it. I'm looking at Chris. I'm going to say, well, Chris is not going to like this.
He's going to say 3.
Sometimes
He's
he
gonna be in the
surprises you.
Well, it does have a nice finish. Yeah.
James knows me in finishing.
Yeah, you're not very good at
Oh.
finishing.
No, I'm not good at finishing.
All right, so I'm gonna say 5 because I think the 6th one might push me over because I think but 5.
It is 5.7%
So,
alcohol.
what is it about the finish you don't think I'm going to like?
The toast.
The toast.
The toast. I don't think you like toast.
He's very particular about his toast.
He likes butter on his toast, not just toast without
I do.
butter.
Can't be burnt too much. Just right.
I like the earth balance on my toast.
Oh.
All right, here I go. Goose Fest Beer.
Oh, well, he didn't make a face this time. That's a good sign.
You know what? The finish isn't as bad as I thought it would be. It is toasty at the end, but it's not overpowering toast. It's not like burnt toast. It's
No.
like lightly brown toast.
It's like a 2-minute toast.
Yeah, it's like a toast that's going to turn, but you just pulled it in the nick of time.
Uh-huh.
And then you spread some earth balance on it.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to go 4.
Oh, we were wrong. All right.
Nice. See,
Okay.
I told you he'd surprise you.
Yeah, no, I'm going to actually finish this one this week.
Yay.
How
yeah,
much-
because we came in to record today in the bunker, and the beer was still here from last week that you had the 2 sips of, and that was all.
Oh, that was my beer?
That was your beer.
I thought I hid that.
No, not good enough.
We tried giving it to Pickles, but even Pickles turned it down.
He has a lot better taste. Don't worry.
All right, Miss Germany, tell us what you think.
It's not bad.
It's
I-
not too good.
No, I don't know. I think it's
But
good.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if I was expecting some more from it. Why
woman
are you
that-
laughing?
wait,
Why
wait.
is
Woman that said that before.
why
Where we
is
go.
everything that I say something funny?
Are you describing the beer or your last date?
No, yeah, probably both. But no, I mean it's good. I don't think there's anything stand out about it where I could give it a 6. Because I mean, I could probably drink 6 of them because it's pretty smooth and not bitter or anything like that. I can handle it, but I don't know if I'd want to. I'd probably rate it a 3. Sorry.
What?
I could drink 6, but I won't, so I'm going to give it a 3.
It's just,
Three.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not my favorite of the beers that we've had. It's good. It's just not my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the most confusing,
Why is
longest
it
rating we've ever had.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it wasn't.
It's like being told, I could give you an A for this project, but
There's a B.
it's more of a B minus.
Yeah, that's what it is. Reaching for a coaster.
Well, I know this is going to be hard to believe, but we actually got a new sponsor this week.
Really?
Oh, my.
That's exciting.
Yep, Battle Axe went out of
I'm
business.
not surprised. I think it was
they
my-
were sued massively. They did very well. They sold like 7.5 battle axes, but yeah,
7.5.
Yeah,
Children's Battle Axe was really a big seller.
one was just a handle, but
Oh.
yeah, they got sued massively and they lost all their funding, and we didn't get paid, but we were supposed to. We were supposed to get paid for that one, but we got a new sponsor.
Wonderful.
So let's pass this out. Nicole, you're starting.
Awesome.
JL, you actually you have to play a famous person in this.
Ooh, really?
So
Oh gosh.
make sure that you imitate this person to the T.
Mr.
Don't mess it up.
Mr. T?
No, it's not Mr. T.
Is it the David whatever it was that we were just talking about a second ago?
Who?
David.
The-
David Pumpkins?
Yeah.
Any questions?
That was before the show, and that's my ringtone is the David Pumpkins theme. For those who are trying to figure out what we're talking about. All right.
I just read your line.
Are we ready?
Yes.
New on TV 42. What happens when you take 4 outraged Facebook activists and put them in a room with 4 YouTube hate commenters and 4 anonymous Twitter accounts? You get TV 42's newest game show, Keyboard Warriors, with your host, Mark Zuckerberg.
Hi, I'm your host, Mark Zuckerberg. Watch as our contestants battle it out with such topics as Nazis,
Nazis rule!
Nazis suck!
You suck!
You're fat!
Native American rights,
Native Americans are the true people of North America.
Native Americans suck!
I hate all the things.
All the things suck.
North Korea,
We need to nuke them.
Where is that?
Geography sucks!
Take down all the flags!
the police, All Lives Matter, Pepsi,
We ain't touching none of that.
Join us every Tuesday at 2:35 a.m. to tune in for everyone's new favorite game show, Keyboard Warriors. If your cable provider doesn't offer Keyboard Warriors, just head to your local McDonald's, knock 3 times on the men's bathroom door, wait for Pat, and he will give you an illegally downloaded copy.
That was the most perfect Mark Zuckerberg impersonation I have ever heard.
That's
You
the-
nailed it.
Oh, good.
That's the most I've ever heard him speak, though.
Mark Zuckerberg
Yeah.
or JL?
No, it's Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on. You can't say me. I never shut up.
I would
Exactly.
watch this show. It would be very
In the
fun.
men's bathroom?
Not in the men's. No.
I'm sure Pat would like a visitor.
No, that's where you go to get your illegally downloaded
So
copy.
what, you're saying you can't watch it with Pat?
I'm not going to watch it with Pat because, frankly, I don't trust him. But
It
if
might
you
not
would
be
like,
a him.
What?
It might not be a him.
It might be
Yeah.
Patricia.
That in the men's bathroom? You are right. This is one of the topics they probably talk about on Keyboard Warriors.
That's right, gender bathrooms.
Exactly.
Gender bathrooms. Okay.
I brought a game.
Another game, yay! Ooh, so exciting.
I brought this game, and it's going to be JL
Uh-huh.
versus James.
Woo!
Oh.
I got this from Wired.com, and this is Who Said It? Nicolas Cage or Luke Cage?
I was waiting to hear Jeff Goldblum.
I'm going to name the quote, and then you have to decide if it was one of the greatest American actors of our generation, Nicolas Cage, or Power Man himself, Luke Cage from the Marvel Universe. All right, first quote. You want me dead. You work for it. Was it Nicolas Cage or Luke Cage?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Meh, it was Luke Cage. Oh,
Ooh, start
0-0.
them off with a tricky one.
Yeah.
I was already thinking Con Air.
Yeah, that's where I actually went as well. I thought it was Con Air.
See, this is going to be a little tougher than you thought. You need to keep track of score, Nicole, because I can't.
Okay, well, tied 0-0.
Well, yeah, that's easy so far.
So who's
So
winning?
I'm doing fine. So
All right, second quote. You're going to see a lot of changes around here. Papa's got a brand new bag.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Nicolas
that's
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
And it was... Oh, what movie was that? It was...
Was it Face Off?
No.
I'm
It-
thinking it's Con Air.
say the quote.
You're going to see a lot of changes around here. Papa's got a brand new bag. But they didn't give the name of the movies.
Oh, they just left us hanging. Okay.
Yeah, damn you, Wired.com. All right, third quote. All right, you're a hard-drinking, short-fused mess of a woman, but you're not a piece of shit. Was that Nicolas
Luke
Cage
Cage.
or Luke Cage?
I have no idea.
It was Face Off, by the way.
It was
Oh,
Face Off,
nice.
the last one. Yeah, I'm going to side with JL and take the cop out and go Luke Cage.
Ding, that's correct.
Only because it doesn't ring a bell with Nicolas Cage.
What's the score, Nicole?
2-2.
All right, very good.
Desmond?
If you know, why do I need to keep score?
I don't know, because I'm not paying attention.
You are paying attention.
I'm paying attention to see if you're paying attention. That's the only thing I'm paying attention to.
Okay.
Quote number 4. I have an acronym for myself. Know what it is? BAD. You should give yourself an acronym, too. It will help you visualize your goals. Greatest American actor, Nicolas Cage, or Heroes for Hire, Luke Cage?
I'm going to say Luke Cage.
I'm going Nicolas Cage.
And the answer is Nicolas Cage. All right, what's the score, Nicole?
I don't know. Who said what? I'm too busy trying to look up where it's from.
I'm
It's
keeping score. I'm losing.
3-2.
3-2. Okay. Thanks for keeping score, Chris.
Yep,
I'm not
who's
supposed to be keeping score. You're supposed to be keeping
But
score.
you're keeping it so well.
All right. Quote number 5. Where's my money, honey? Nicolas Cage or Luke Cage?
Nicolas Cage.
winning? Nicolas Cage.
Oh, that's wrong. It's Luke Cage.
Wow. Bum, bum, bum.
Where's my money, honey? Quote number 6. You want me out? You put me out, Tin Man. I know. Nicolas Cage or Luke Cage? Is it Nicolas Cage with the mullet or is it Luke Cage with the headband?
I'm looking at you because I don't want to answer first.
You're just going to copy whatever he says?
Nicolas
It is
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
It is Luke Cage.
Wow.
I thought that was his comment in a National Book of Secret Treasure Hunters.
National Treasures.
National
Book
Treasure.
Of Secrets.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. I thought that was a thing. Well, all right. I'm wrong.
When I first read it, I thought it was from Pushing 10, which doesn't have Luke Cage or Nicolas Cage in it. So
Is it still 3-2? No. Yes,
Yeah.
because they just got that wrong.
All right, there's 2 more quotes. Move your mouth or I'll remove your teeth. Nick or Luke? Nick or Luke? They're thinking. They're thinking hard.
Thinking.
Move your mouth
Thinking.
or I'll remove your teeth.
Nicolas Cage.
Luke Cage.
And the answer is... Trick question, neither. No, just joking. It's Luke Cage.
So we're on tiebreaker.
Or untie.
Yeah, tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
Hold on, let me see if the scorekeeper knows.
What's the score?
Is it 3-3 or is it 4-2? That's the only possibility. It could
It's a
be.
tie. So
Yes, that's why I was asking.
So a tie would be the same,
No,
the same amount. Is it?
Don't make
Okay.
me say what I need to say.
Oh boy!
That math is tough, and you're not good at keeping score.
I am very
This
good at keeping
Is
score.
the final quote and the tiebreaker of the 4-2 tie.
The 3-3 tie.
What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to save the fucking day. Luke or Nick? Nick or Luke? Luke or Nick or Nick or Luke? What do you
Nicolas
think I'm
Cage.
going
yes,
to do?
Nicolas Cage.
I'm going to save the fucking day. Nicolas Cage. We have a tie.
That's a total Con Air quote,
Yep.
too.
I don't have a tiebreaker question. What are we going to do?
I don't know. I wasn't prepared for this.
Okay, here's the tiebreaker question.
She was having enough trouble keeping score.
I was not.
On Wired.com, they actually asked one of these actors these questions to see if he knew if it was Nicolas Cage or Luke Cage. Which actor did they ask? Was it Nick, or was it the actor who plays Luke Cage?
Luke Cage.
It was Luke Cage.
Oh, another tiebreaker! You're not helping me at
What
all.
am I supposed to do? This was your game that you brought in. You should have come up with a couple more tiebreaker questions. Or picked harder questions.
Those
I mean,
were
they're
hard.
pretty hard. So
They are pretty hard.
yeah, I was like, I don't.
Okay.
Name all of
how-
Nicolas Cage's movies, or name everyone in Heroes for Hire.
Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage.
He's dumb.
I don't know.
Yeah, jail one because
No, you can't do that. I have an idea.
Okay,
she has an
This'll
idea.
be good.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Do 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 do
All right.
do do do.
Why are you
do,
pulling up
do.
naked men
I'm not.
on the computer? That's not even Luke or...
I know, but it's another one that there are 2 of the same last names, and they can guess which one it was. Let's see. But I don't know. Okay. Well, I can't do that one.
But.
You are.
I liked the I don't know in there. Just the,
I
have
don't-
an idea.
I don't know.
I think we should just both award them medals.
I want a medal. As long as I'm not like Chewbacca who doesn't get a medal.
All she's doing on this computer is looking up gorgeous men. That's it.
GorgeousMen.com.
Okay.
They're all Helmsworths.
Okay.
All the
So
brothers
which
Hemsworth.
one said this quote? And it's not from a movie, probably. So you're just gonna have to. You're gonna have to give it your best shot
It's
to
a
see
random
which one
quote
it is.
that somebody said on the street.
Yes. Are you ready?
My shoe's untied. Who said that?
It's we all make mistakes, and it's not until we make mistakes that we learn. Who said that? Liam or Chris Hemsworth?
Liam.
You know, I'm going to go Chris Hemsworth.
It was Liam.
Because that sounds like a Miley Cyrus thing.
It is. That was my thought, too, and I was afraid to see what other tiebreakers she
Yeah, no, exactly.
So I went with Chris Hemsworth.
I just figured 2 of the same last name was where we were going with that, and that
Is
was.
this Thor or the Hunger Games that
Well,
said
see,
it?
there was a Thor quote, and I was like, that'll be too obvious.
All right. Well, JL, you win on style points, and James, you win on random quotes from people not in
Miley
the game.
Cyrus is...
What do I win?
Slept with.
Yeah.
You
Nothing.
win on hurricane tracking.
Okay, great.
She's on map. She's mapping her trip right now.
I'm mapping my trip to see the breweries along the route because I'm going to be picking up beer on my way home from my trip.
All
'Cause-
right. She's doing show research for future shows that she's not going to be on. Since all of a sudden now we have to replace you. I didn't even know about it till now.
We're bringing the 3-year-old back.
All right. I have a complaint
Okay.
about Angry Birds.
I cannot play
The
Angry
movie
Birds.
or the game?
Everything.
Okay.
Angry Birds, the company that does Angry Birds, whatever,
Rikio.
something like that.
Yeah.
They're filing for and I'm not good with business, but they're filing for the IPO or the stock thing. Or they're going to be a publicly traded company.
Angry Birds is going to be okay.
Yeah, the company behind Angry Birds. And I think that's all they do is Angry Bird games and movies and stuff like that. Merchandise.
Rovio.
And here's my complaint, and at the same time, I admire them. They haven't done an original game yet.
Besides Angry Birds?
Angry Birds is not an original game.
Oh, what is it?
It's Worms.
It's Worms, and before Worms, it was actual, like, king and, like, queen on the platform, and you shot the king over and tried to knock the queen off the platform. And before that, I'm going to date myself, but I used to play it on an Apple II where it's just two squiggly lines and a ball.
Oh, Pong.
Pretty much, except for you shot the ball and you tried to kill the other hill with the ball.
But that's kind of good, making loads of money off an unoriginal idea.
But they also do Angry Birds Pinball. They do an Angry Birds Match 3 game, which everybody and their brother does a Match 3 game. They do an Angry Birds game where you, I don't know what style of game it's called, but you get like the balls in the air and you have to shoot the same colored ball.
Oh,
and
Peggle?
the other balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite Peggle. That's the one where you shoot it and it goes down. This one you shoot it and it goes up.
And you have to kind of angle it so it can hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've
But-
played that before. I can't remember what it's called.
All they've done is taken simple games that everybody's played before, and then put these birds in them, and they're making $1 billion.
They are. And actually, do you know what I found out? Interesting fact, without you even saying that John Lasseter, the guy behind Toy Story, directed the Angry Birds movie.
He did. I didn't know.
Yeah, I
that.
know. I found out this out by a mistake the other day when looking for really bad movies.
What? He did?
Yeah. John Lasseter's the Angry Birds director.
See, I had no interest in seeing the Angry Birds movie, but if I had known that, I might have given it a shot.
It was all right. I watched it. It was not
You
my
watch
voice.
Shocker.
everything.
I do. I do watch everything. And I understand where you're coming from, unoriginal ideas for games, because there's a lot of unoriginal games out there.
I mean, look how many different types of bingo there are out there.
I love bingo.
Yes, but there's Monopoly bingo, Clue bingo, regular bingo, everything.
Yeah, and there's no skill set to that. It's just if you win, you win. If you don't, you don't.
It's like the slot machine games on your phone and stuff that people play all the time, like
Yeah,
My
I don't
Vegas.
understand that at all.
People like get points and stuff for discounts and crap. But the thing is, yes, there are there, but they're obviously made to.
I need someone to explain the slots to me, because I don't understand where it's got like the 27 different lines that you can win.
Oh, I can do that.
yeah.
We just have to go to the casino and you have to give me $200.
I have to give you $200 to explain.
Yeah,
to
it's
me
like a
how the
lesson.
27 different lines
It's a
that you
visual
win.
thing.
It's yeah, and whatever we make off the $200, I'll give back to you.
Yeah, but sometimes when it's like in a row, you don't win.
It's correct.
I don't understand that.
Okay.
But if it's like in a slanted line that goes in a circle and then pops out of the machine and goes back in, you'll win.
Yes,
You're not explaining anything to
I
me.
know. I'm just hearing what you're saying with me, and
I'm trying
basically,
to pull up, I'm trying
there
to
are.
Okay. So when you play a slot machine,
Oh, she's pulling it up on. See all the lines she's pulling up.
Okay. So when you're doing
See those straight lines?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So-
that's how I think you should win.
That's like the minimum
Traditional.
bet. That's if you want to bet, like if you're paying penny slots, that's 4 cents right there.
Okay, but the second line where it looks like a preschooler was trying to color in a Pac-Man but totally missed.
Yes,
That's what I don't understand.
because you have different combinations of win lines.
Yeah,
So
because
it's-
you would go through 1, 2, 3, 4.
It looks like a
5.
graph, like a chart that a company says, this is how we're doing right now. Look at each different quarter.
It looks like the Angry Birds.
So
stock.
when you pay more money, you get better odds because you have all these different ways to line up the possible matches. And a lot of the times, all you need for some of the ones that come up, so say you only need 3 cherries in a row, if the first 3 fall along any of those first 3 lines, then you're going to win.
Okay, but every single line is covering almost every part of the board, and yet you can still lose.
Yes.
Yeah, because you still need to have the same symbol in succession to the next one. So, like the 7s, you're going to need at least 4 7s before you ever win anything if a 7 is on the board. So, even if you have 2, you're giving me blank stare, James.
No, I know you were explaining it well. That's right.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just looking at you like my fun story of this is because once in Oregon I didn't know what I was doing on a machine, and I put a $20 bill in, and I hit spin, and it decided to give me $800. So
much?
$800
Awesome.
off one spin.
Wow.
I know.
That's how I play slots. Is I just throw some money in there and hope something happens.
That's
No,
the point.
it
And you
is.
drink for free.
And that's
Yeah,
what I
but
did.
Other people know what's happening. I'm just like, oh, if it shoots out some money,
And
good.
it's funny because, you get the old ladies that follow you around. I made lots of friends in Oregon. That was great. Lots of old people who found it hilarious because I didn't know what I was doing. But I was also playing dumb that I didn't know what I was doing. But
Did you have the machine and did you tell your little niece to watch the machine?
No, but the lady
And then
said to
she
me.
played the machine and won, and then she wasn't eligible
No.
to win because she was a kid.
No.
Have you done that?
No, but this was a plot point on Full House.
Oh, it was a Full House thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, if you look at this one, there's a ton of lions, and lion is obviously the one that's going to win you the most money at this point because it says incredible win at the top of the image I pulled up. So even though there are no lions in a row, if there's not this symbol in the first row, you're not going to get anything. You need to have them in order. So like the lines I was showing you before, how it goes zigzag, you go down, across, and then back up again. So that's 4 lions in a row, perhaps.
4 lions in a row.
4 lions, and that's a lot of money. So,
Well, it depends also because you're
and
paying.
think about it. If you're betting on all of these extra lines, then you're going every one of these that falls into another path of the win lines that you have is going to win you money. So that's why when you have the bonus rounds that pull up all the wilds, you go nuts because you're going to win a lot of money that way.
Or $2.
It's so much fun.
Hey, it's Chris from Podcast 42. Can you guess what these cities have in common? Columbus, Chicago, Nashville, Madison, Oklahoma City, and New Orleans. If you guess Wizard World, you're correct. They're coming to those cities. Wizard World is the #1 fan convention where pulp culture comes to life. See celebrities, buy comics, games, collectibles, participate in cosplay contests, attend panels, and learn cool movie things from cool movie people. While you're there, play my favorite game. It's called Count the Deadpools. See how many Deadpools you can count over the course of the entire convention. If you can count more than me, you may win a prize. And because we at Podcast 42 are super cool, when you buy your tickets online, if you enter the promo code podcast42, you get 10% off your ticket. Just go to wizardworld.com. By the way, that's the number 4 and the number 2. Type a 4 and a 2. Don't spell out the word 4 and spell out the word 2 because then it's not going to work and you're going to be mad at me and you're going to blame me. It's not my fault because who spells out numbers anyway?
I have the Wizard of Oz slot machine.
I lost a lot of money on that one.
Oh, you don't play the Sharknado one?
No.
Plinko?
No, Clue. I won a lot in Clue also.
Betty White?
I still don't know what's going on. So we're going to move on from this.
I think the moral of the story is we have to go to a casino and
Yes.
show you how it's done.
Yeah, so everybody will get a Podcast 42 field trip. So everybody's like, who's listening to this and going, I can't see no lions. I'm listening to this in my car, and they're talking about a row of lions that I can't see.
Just imagine lions in the road in different lanes.
Or here.
I saw something on Reddit, and it really hit home for me, and it's going to blow your minds. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Yes.
Ready? Have you ever seen a Chinese food commercial?
No.
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 That blew my mind.
Maybe Payway? I'm sure. No, Payway
No.
doesn't advertise?
No.
Not even Panda Express. I've never seen a Panda
Wow.
Express commercial, and that's probably the biggest, most
Fast food,
well-known.
yeah,
I
chain.
may have seen one Panda Express commercial.
You're lying.
I want to say that there was a panda in it, and that's the only reason.
Let's see. Panda Express commercial.
So now she's gonna look up Panda Express commercials.
I don't know. That's the thing, though. It's just like, for me, whenever I think Chinese food and where to find Chinese food,
They had talking pandas in it.
they're talking pandas. Wow.
But I've never seen one. I don't think anyone's seen one. No. Just because there's one on YouTube doesn't mean they showed it
could
on
be.
TV.
I also don't have live TV. A lot of people are streaming, so that's also why you're not seeing commercials as much anymore to begin with.
No,
Toss it
ever.
out there.
Even as a child, I've
Oh,
never
no.
seen. What were you saying?
But basically, here in the US, for me, Chinese food is I go to Publix and there's a Chinese next to it. And it's,
Yeah, it's always a mom
Yeah.
and pop.
and it's like, there is. I've never ever seen, even in England, there's never been.
A ma Chinese guy and pa Chinese.
And with 2 kids working behind the counter giving you your food.
Not even like Benihana. Nope.
But
Crazy.
see, there are some big Chinese chains. You just named one. We named another one. You named two, actually.
P.F. Chang's.
But you don't
None of
ever
that.
see them advertise.
That's crazy. That is a mind blown kind of thing.
It is. Do you want me to blow your mind now?
There's a kitty glitter slot machine.
Oh, God.
Okay,
she blew her own mind.
Wearing a
She just,
tuxedo.
all right, 2 things I can bring out to you. What did you get in the mail today, Nicole?
a cat leash and windshield wipers.
So cat bondage is a real thing still.
What do you do with the windshield wipers and cat bondage?
I don't want to
Oh
know.
my gosh, they are completely unrelated. Besides the fact that both have
Are
to
they?
do with the cat going in the car.
I don't want to know anymore.
Okay.
And the other one was I watched a bad movie.
Amazing.
I know, me watch a bad movie. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen this movie. It's called The Royal Tenenbaums.
I've heard of that movie.
Gene Hackman, Angelisa Houston, who was Morticia Adams.
You didn't like it?
It was awful.
Isn't that by a guy who makes...
Wes
Like-
Anderson, who
Yeah,
did
Wes
actually did the Darjeeling tea thing and
He did something with-
Grand Budapest.
Bruce Willis as a Boy Scout leader or something.
And that was a good one as well. That was Moonrise Kingdom.
Okay.
This was his worst one. And I sat there and went, what am I doing on the floor of my living room floor? Because it was that bad. I fell off the couch and had to sit down on the floor to I'm going to finish this movie.
I thought that was like a great movie by him.
It gets great
I liked
reviews,
it.
but I thought it was just, it was, again, I don't really know what I watched. So when I've got no idea what was going on, even Bill Murray's in it, and it didn't make me laugh once. So, but yes.
Glover, Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson.
So you need a rating
Alec Baldwin.
system for these bad movies.
That
Yeah.
would get, so what were you going to do, stars?
No, it needs to be something Jamesy.
Oh, crumpets.
How many crumpets out of how? What's the perfect score?
Six crumpets in a pack, like the beers. There's 6 always in.
Seriously, really?
Yeah,
They come with 6 to a pack.
yeah. Or you can get 6 or a 12 pack.
Let's do 12.
12 crumpets.
Okay,
This would get half a crumpet.
only half a crumpet.
Yeah,
How big is a crumpet?
about the size of a biscuit.
It's about the size of an
Like
English
an
muffin.
American biscuit
Yeah.
that we slop gravy over?
Yes, that or as Nicole said, the
Like a
English one.
Grand's biscuit or just a regular biscuit?
Like a Chick-fil-A biscuit.
Okay.
So it gets half a Chick-fil-A biscuit.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was one of those ones where you sit there and you're just like, I'm gonna, yeah, no, still don't know what I watched. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have to have a rating system.
Me watching terrible movies blows everyone's mind.
All right, well let's compare it to White Gold. How many crumpets does White Gold get?
12.
12 crumpets.
Yes. I mean, there's Boobum on
And how many crumpets would Sandy Wexler get?
probably 8.
8 crumpets, really?
Yeah.
Really? You're going to rate Sandy Wexler over the Royal Tenenbaums?
Yeah, I actually preferred it because I sat there and I smirked the whole time. With the Royal Tenenbaums, though, I just went, I don't know what I'm doing, and my young lady's going to punch me in the head in a minute.
What if you're can't eat gluten?
A gluten-free?
Are there gluten-free crumpets?
No.
Why not?
Really?
There
I
could
don't
be.
think- I don't think there are, but they
Do
probably.
people in the UK have gluten allergies, or have they not caught on to that fad?
we
It's not
Yes.
bad. It's a real thing.
Hey,
Okay.
wait. I should ask our expert. Do people in Germany have gluten problems?
No, come on.
I didn't
Germans
know.
are knocking back so many beers, they wouldn't even notice if it was the gluten that was affecting them.
But also on the whole topic of movies, today is the last day before we get it
Yeah.
released tomorrow.
It the movie.
It the
Yeah.
movie. And also though, in the comical facts, if you have a look online, which I'm about to post in the group after this, was the spin-off version of McDonald's It. Ronald McDonald. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I saw it posted, but I didn't watch it.
It is hilarious. It's a spin-off of Stephen King's It with Ronald McDonald, and at one point during it, the guy puts a bucket of KFC on the table, and Ronald McDonald comes out and starts choking him. And it's like,
Spoiler alert.
no, because it's a mockumentary, right?
I can't wait
This
to
wasn't
see that
done
when
by
you post it.
McDonald's, right?
Pardon?
This wasn't done by McDonald's as a spoof.
No, this was just done. I don't know who by, but it made me laugh a lot, and I'm kind of excited for it.
Did you hear from marketing for it that they were putting red balloons in sewers? And it was creeping people out.
Yes, Philadelphia had one today with the cops arresting people for doing it.
Did they? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I have high hopes. If it's, I don't know. I would be nervous if I was remaking this movie.
Yeah, it's a tough one to go. It's a classic kind of scary movie that's going to be out there, and you really have to go for it, but you don't want to go in the way that's going to ruin the franchise of what it is. So,
And this is going to be a two-parter, right?
Yes.
is it? Oh, I didn't know that.
Really? Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Why are they doing 2 parts?
Well,
Because
it's
they
like
can.
Have you seen the size of the book?
it's like a 10,000-page book.
It's
How many
a
hours?
44-hour audiobook, remember? We went over this last week.
I'm intrigued.
Me
Was there
too.
one? There was only one originally, though, wasn't there?
And the director actually said that the
There's
sequel is going to be his top priority.
Who's the director?
The guy who directed Mama.
Andy Muschietti.
What did you ask?
Was there? How many movies was there first time around? Just the one.
Just the one, but it was
Yeah.
a mini-series.
It was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a miniseries.
I think it's like 6 or 8 hours long.
I think I remember somebody saying that it was on like 2 VHS, like Titanic
Yeah, no.
was split up to 2 VHS.
But I don't remember. I didn't know it was split up into that way.
Yeah,
I just remember
VHS didn't hold very much, to be honest.
Funny. I saw Mama actually. I didn't really care for it.
I don't know, Mama. Is that a horror movie?
Yeah, it was about the 2 girls that were abandoned in the woods and they grew up in the wild, and when they were finally found, their uncle adopted them, and they were kind of not welcoming towards the uncle's girlfriend because whatever the spirit that saved them in the woods and cared for them, she was like, you can't be nice to this woman. That's what it was. It wasn't my favorite.
Maybe I did see it. It sounds familiar. We are going to run out of time before we do homework, so maybe we should get to homework.
Yes.
Yay.
If you did your homework, then say I did my homework. I did my homework. I did my homework. And if you did your homework, then say I did my homework. I did my homework. I did my homework.
All right, homework was the most binge-worthy television shows. What TV shows would you recommend anybody sit down and binge? This one was too easy.
Yes, it was a very easy topic.
I came up with like 100 shows.
And I narrowed it down to 5.
I narrowed it down to
33.
7 that I would totally 100% recommend binge watching, and I have my ones that I wanted to put in there, but I didn't. And that's about 6 or 7 of those as well.
That's fine. I can add my other 2 back in, and I can have 7 too. How many do you have, JL?
4.
Whoa!
I have 6.
Nicole did homework. What?
Wow,
I
she did homework.
I know. Aren't you proud?
All right, name your 6.
My 6. Okay. The Office, Parks and Rec, Seinfeld, Friends, House, and Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was good. I could probably come up with a couple more. I binged Degrassi since I still watch Degrassi.
Lame.
No, it's just something I grew up with, and I can't
Lame.
quit on it. I've got to see how it all unfolds because every year turns into the next year.
They're gonna
Mostly
graduate.
comedies for
I
you.
know. And then they get new characters, and it just keeps on going.
Mostly comedies.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, did you do your homework for me last week and watch those episodes of Black Mirror? Any of them?
No.
So somebody didn't do his homework.
I'll do it. I'll actually do it tonight.
Uh-huh.
I'm a bachelor. I'll do
Uh-huh.
it tonight. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next because I went very English.
Okay.
The In-Betweeners. Have you watched The In-Betweeners?
What is that?
It's about 3 guys in high school who are very
in-between.
awkward. Yeah, very awkward age and trying to get in
I have
trouble.
5 now because I just thought of one after you said that.
And The In-Betweeners is
The
great. And
In-Betweeners?
actually, they star the 2 guys from White Gold as well. So, you can watch them in that and then go into it. So, it's that one.
Is White Gold paying you?
Yes.
Okay.
Secret.
I
In,
thought
in
so.
White Gold. My second is Sherlock.
Okay.
Because Sherlock is a great series and
Is this
deserves-
the Benedict
Yes. Cucumber.
I'm
He
not going to say his name.
Cumberbatch. He's fantastic. He really is.
He's a good actor.
And Martin Freeman in there, who obviously from his Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, everything, was great. So it's just a good series. Yes, it's long episodes and there's not many of them, but it's definitely up there to watch. My next one, like Nicole, The Office. There's 8 bajillion episodes, but
Yeah.
you can pick them up. I think you can pick them up till like the last 2 series because they kind of suck.
But yeah.
But then and when Michael leaves, it's kind of the end of it.
I never got into
I
that
know.
one.
By the way, I have a very strong opinion about what the best episode of The Office is. Anybody care to hear?
Go for
Sure.
it.
Okay. It is the season 4 finale, Goodbye Toby. It is the most perfectly balanced episode of the entire series because it covers all of the storylines. It introduces Holly to Michael, and just you cannot beat it.
I
And
don't-
Toby leaves.
And Toby leaves.
I think my
Whatever that
favorite one
is.
was Jim and Pam's wedding
That one was good
because
too.
it's just hilarious.
But I mean, that was good because it was a pivotal part of the show. But in Goodbye Toby, you have Jim wanting to propose to Pam, Angela versus Phyllis for the party planning committee, Andy and Angela, Angela and Dwight.
I think we should just watch the episode.
Done.
It's a good idea.
I'd
All
never
right.
seen a single episode.
I'm going to carry on because I'm on my English streak. That was the
Okay.
only American program I put on there. The next
Which
one
is
is
also a British program.
But the original British one is great, but the thing is the American one just had a lot more legs because they kind of went, we did 2 series, this is great, we're going to leave this alone, bye. My fourth one, is Moon Boy. It's set
Oh
in the
yeah, Moon Boy.
it's set in the 80s. It's on a Hulu. It's a Hulu
Oh,
one.
yeah, that just makes sense.
Of course.
It stars Chris O'Dowd, who's very, very famous with many things.
Moon with an E.
Yes, hilarious because it's this little kid who has an imaginary friend who's an old Irish guy, and it's him getting in trouble. And it's set in the 80s in Northern Ireland. Hilarious.
Can we understand when they talk?
You can use subtitles,
Okay.
which then follows on to the IT crowd, whatever you want to call it. Another Chris O'Dowd show, basically about 3 nerds, well, 2 nerds and their boss in a office, and they're working on computers. Another comedy. Then Blackadder, which I've tried before to make you watch, and you all went, eh.
It was all right.
But it's 80s, 90s, Blackadder, Ron Atkinson, but the whole way through, another one that I enjoyed. And the last one is John Cleese's Fawlty Towers.
That's one I need to watch.
Fawlty Towers is another great show. Early 70s, him playing a crazy hotel owner. Hilarious. So,
there used to be a bar around here that was called
yeah.
Fawlty Towers.
It was on 192.
Yeah, I used to go there just because of the name.
Yeah. And it burnt down?
I don't know.
I think it burnt down.
I think it burnt down. You might
Yeah.
be right.
I think it did burn down here in Orlando.
The thing with Blackadder for me was seeing Rowan Atkinson play something other than guy that I
Mr.
see.
Bean. Yeah.
Well, he also did it in several movies here.
He did
Like in Rat Race.
Rat Race. He did
and-
the comedy character, didn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't talk much over here.
But he was in The Lion King. You forget that always.
That's true.
He was Zazu. So, and he was that. But, they're my ones, and I always recommend them to people to pick up and binge watch and just enjoy
With subtitles.
with subtitles. JL.
All right, so mine, Lost.
I almost
just-
put that on there.
Yeah, I just
Yep.
started watching that.
One of my favorites.
If
20
it wasn't for the ending, it would have made it.
I love it the way it is.
Hang on. Spoilers, because I never watched Lost, and Nicole, there's going to be spoilers now. But I know what happened in the end. And it was purgatory, right? They were not quite dead, or they were dead, but they were
Nobody knows.
Oh.
It's
It all depends
completely
how you
up
wanna
in
look at it.
interpretation.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they're either dead or they were almost dead. And...
Nobody knows.
Okay.
My next one, 24.
24 is a great show.
I forgot about 24.
I mean,
Oh, I'm kicking myself.
yeah,
But then I didn't watch any of the newer stuff, and they
you're
did
not
like...
missing anything.
Okay,
I
that's
tried
good.
watching it, and it just, you couldn't get into it like you did with this one.
Nobody can replace Jack Bauer.
No,
That's
you
the
can't
problem.
replace Jack Bauer.
Okay.
Next.
Luke Cage. Honestly, the soundtrack's great. The storytelling's really good. And all the references to, like, Black history, everything. Phenomenal show.
They were showing it at a comic book store today, actually, when I walked in there. They had it on stream. Definitely worth a watch.
My fourth one, The Sopranos.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Fade to Black.
I didn't watch The Sopranos.
That's another one, though. You look at the ending, but the whole series as a whole.
Yeah,
really
no,
good.
it was good. And I mean, for me though, with his whole relationship with the shrink when he's like, that whole thing just confused me.
Now,
a
I
lot.
heard Sopranos had like high of highs and low of lows as far as episodes. Like they had a big dip.
Yeah,
and it wasn't as good, and then it came back.
Yeah, there were some very, very slow episodes that you just went, okay, all right, can we just get past this and get into what we need to?
Essentially, The Sopranos did The Simpsons, but in live action, because The Simpsons had the same thing where they had the highest of highs, and then it just dwindled off, and now it's kind of back. So,
Yeah. Well, Simpsons, I think, lasted way longer than it should have.
yeah.
I mean, I love Homer to death. He's one of my favorite characters of...
But we're still telling the same joke how many years later?
I mean, I think I'm as old as The Simpsons. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm older than The Simpsons.
Yeah, but my last one, The Young Ones.
Oh, The Young Ones is great.
I don't know the...
You don't know the
You
Young
know
One.
The Young
Yeah,
Ones?
Young Ones is a great show.
It's a
Set in
great show.
Oh, it's British.
Isn't
That's why
it?
you like
Yeah,
it.
it's awesome. It stars Adrian Edmondson and Rick Mayo as the two lead characters.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Do you know who they are?
No.
Oh, you have no idea. Rick Mayo, what did he do over here? He did...
Drop Dead Fred.
There you go.
Oh, I'm never watching that. That was horrible.
Oh, no. Drop Dead Fred was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Really?
I
It's
wouldn't
just typical Rick Mayo.
Okay, well, that's great, but what is typical Rick Mayo?
Loud, rude, obnoxious, in your face. Really, it's kind of like 12-year-old boy humor.
Carrot Top.
Pretty much, but without the...
No props.
Yeah, and with the steroids.
In the same hair color, right?
Yeah, ginger.
All right, well, here's my list. I got the top half and the bottom half. So in the top half, I have Walking Dead. And before anybody says anything, what people forget about Walking Dead is it's more of a show about the humans and not the zombies, because I know it's been getting some flack lately. But still great writing.
I'm still up to last season. I just bought the DVD to kind of catch up because not having cable and
You bought
reading.
the DVDs?
Yeah, it was
Don't
20
you have
bucks.
Netflix?
It was but it goes on Netflix. But the thing is, I don't think it's out on Netflix till the 31st of the month.
But it's,
I have all of them on series on DVD.
Yeah. Well, those are going to be like archaic really soon.
Yeah.
The DVD.
The DVD. Yes.
And then I have Game of Thrones, of course. I think that's a given. It's probably one of the best series that's ever come out. Breaking Bad, of course. I mean, I think that'll make most people's list of binge-worthy TV.
It made
Breaking
mine.
Bad, only one bad episode in the whole thing.
Which one was
Fly.
that?
The Fly one.
Really?
Which they
Yeah.
did that because they were running low on funds, so they needed an
Never seen
episode
it.
where they only had the two characters. But they've done that before in series. Like they had an episode of Seinfeld where it was just one scene, one setting. The Chinese episode, the Chinese restaurant. They were in that one restaurant, and it's kind of like a play.
And you know what I suggest? Don't do an episode then. I'd rather have one episode less and they all be superior quality than to have a filler episode of them chasing a fly through the meth lab. Here's my shocker one, MASH.
Oh, MASH is great, though.
MASH is I'm not a big fan of comedies, but I grew up. Alan Alda was my hero for a long time. You could watch him in order. You could watch him out of order. MASH, definitely MASH.
No, and I think MASH led on to pretty much where we are with sitcoms. Like, it was one of the ones that...
You think?
Yeah.
I think MASH introduced the fact that you could mix comedy and drama.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was very... spoiler alert, it's really sad the way it ends.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It's like they probably end it and you go, oh, okay, it's over. It's not coming back ever.
Well, do we need a spoiler alert on a show that's 30 years
It's 40
since
years.
it's been
Yeah.
the last episode?
40 years old. Maybe, I don't know.
And then I have two on my list that only have one season, and I debated putting them on, but they were two super strong opening seasons. So we'll see what the second season does. Maybe they'll have to go off my list in the future. But it's Stranger Things
Which I agree with.
and
Yeah.
American Gods.
Didn't see it.
You should watch it. I'm telling you, you two should watch American Gods. I lay money that you'll put it up there as one of the better TV shows you've ever seen.
I'm excited. Stranger Things comes back next month, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's coming out real soon.
It's a Halloween-ish kind
I
of...
can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, but there's a lot of pressure on them.
And then my last in the top tier is Rick and Morty.
I didn't think... Do you know what? I didn't do any animated.
No,
'cause-
me neither.
But then there are binge-worthiness, but even the ones like, people go, oh, Family Guy, but they had some crap seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
They've been coming back. They've been doing better.
Well,
Again.
there's
Newer
a
stuff.
guy at work who's like, "Oh, Rick and Morty, I don't understand it. I hate it." And I said, "Well, what did you hate about it?" He said, "Well, I watched one show, and I think he picked a show that was in the middle of the second season, and I didn't understand this, that, and the other." I said, "Well, Rick and Morty is one of those that you have to start at episode 1, and then you do episode 2 and 3, and there's no jumping around with that one. Unfortunately, you've got to watch it in order."
No, otherwise you lose complete.
Yeah, you don't understand. If you just watch it in the middle, one show in the middle, you may find it funny, or may like, I don't get it at all.
I mean, it's not like, for instance, one of Nicole's favorite Bob's Burgers, where you can just put it on whenever.
I love
Yeah.
Bob's
You
Burgers.
can just
Yeah,
watch
there's
that.
no continuing storyline into that show.
And then my ones that I want to put on there, but I didn't, is Ozark, and that's a 1-season one, so that's kind of risky. Three's Company, St. Elsewhere, Hill Street Blues, Night Court, Barney Miller, and Oz.
Didn't see any of them.
Didn't see Oz?
You've never
No.
seen Night Court?
No.
You never seen Night Court either?
Nope. I have no idea what you're saying. Words.
Night Court's about a judge in New York.
Is he doing judge work at night?
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's a half-hour sitcom. It was one of those that was part of the old Thursday lineup that NBC had, where they put their 4 best shows on Thursday, and everybody in America used to sit down and watch it. That was before the DVR and all that. And I had like Cheers was in that group, and
Taxi?
no, I don't think Taxi was, but I think Bill Cosby, before we found out his terrible secrets, was in there. And there's some other show that was huge. I can't think of it, but they always had 4 comedies. It was Must See Thursday. Night Court was in there.
Okay.
Really strong.
Is it on? I'm guessing it's supposed to be on.
I'm sure you can
Netflix
find it
or Hulu or something.
anywhere.
All right.
Yeah. It's Harry Anderson's the lead. He's a comedian and a magician. I know. Don't let magician throw you.
Uh-huh.
He's funny. He's good. And you never saw Oz either?
Nope.
It's an HBO show. It's set in a prison.
Nope.
It's like Orange is the New Black, but with men.
Oh.
Before Orange is the New Black ever came out. And there's hardly any comedy to it. It's mostly drama. It's messed up, too.
Okay. So not Prison Break.
Not Prison Break, no.
It looks like the must-see Thursday was Fame, Cheers, Taxi, and Hill Street.
I don't
America's
remember.
best night of television on
Fame?
television.
I don't remember Fame ever being part of it.
Cheers.
That's what Wikipedia is saying.
I always
There's
loved
like
Cheers.
4 comedies and then the drama at the end, Hill Street Blues, yeah.
I loved Cheers as
That
well.
must have been when it first came out for the must-see TV.
I tried.
That's something else to say. Oh, Oz. The main bad guy in Oz is J. Jonah Jameson in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. That same actor.
Who's now going to be Lex Luthor? No, he's being.
No, he's Commissioner Gordon.
That's the one.
And he's done so many things, but he was so evil in Oz, I can only see him. He was like a white supremacist.
Oh.
And I could only see him in that role. And he was a bastard. He was bad, mean, terrible, like scary.
You still have nightmares about him?
I do.
Okay.
I remember he tattooed a swastika on somebody's ass. in that show.
Yee.
Well,
How nice of him.
So that's it. That's mine. I could have listed like 12 more, though.
it's one of the ones because everyone's preference of what they can binge watch is great. I mean, yeah, I missed out things like How I Met Your Mother and Friends because I think they're so obvious that you kind of can turn them on and watch them, and they're played all the time. Every time I go to anyone's house and they have cable and you turn on the cable television, you can always find an episode
Yeah.
of every single one of them.
What I've always said is for shows on like TV series, especially ones like The Office and Bob's Burgers and Friends and all the ones that are syndicated that are always running at random on TV, Netflix needs a shuffle button. Like, pick a show, shuffle the episodes for me, as if I'm watching it on TV, so I don't know what episode's next. Because for me to put on The Office, it's like, well, what episode do I want to watch? I've seen them all a million times. I just need Netflix to pick a starting point and let it run from there.
I actually think that's a great idea, but I would like to put like 4 shows and have a shuffle button.
So we should write into them. Light bulb.
Right
Golden
into-
ticket idea.
I don't know how often Netflix get letters, but maybe an email would work.
Oh, that reminds me. I was today I was doing the Over the Line show, uploading it to the internet, and then I do the web page. And one of the things that I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. I do little blurbs, so when you go to the web page, you can read the blurb. It kind of gives you what's going on in the show without telling you. So I wrote Joe's wrong mail habits.
Oh.
Mail as in delivery, letters. and it gave me a little underline squiggly to it. A little like you spelled this wrong.
Like mail.
So I looked at it. I didn't spell it like male like the man.
Yeah.
I spelled it male like male, M-A-I-L, a little squiggly. I'm like, okay, so what's it asking me? So I right-click it, and it wants me to turn it into email.
So is the computer trying to stop mail existing?
But do we not do mail anymore?
What do you get in the mail? Because I get a utility bill from my water and
Ads.
loads of flyers.
The value pack coupons, that's it.
Your circular, so you can find out what's on sale at Publix.
That's it. I don't think,
I know, but mail is still like a common thing.
it is a common thing, but, them trying to take away and say email is a must,
It shocked me. I'm like, we've gone that far?
True. But then again, email is just as bad as regular mail because I get 200 junk emails a day.
Yeah, I actually have an account that's just for junk email. And I have my other account that's for like friends and family.
It's a smart idea. Never unsubscribe because then you just get 10 times more emails when you unsubscribe from an email. Yes. Don't you ever notice you never go, like if you say unsubscribe from Apple's emails, they won't send you to the Apple website. It'll be some no-name website. Are you sure you want to unsubscribe from this email? Then you say, yes, I want to unsubscribe from this email. And then you'll wind up seeing a lot more junk emails.
But it's because Apple
No,
wants
I'm
its
just
clutches
using
on
that
you.
as an example.
The
It could
evil
be any of
corporation.
them. Say Panera Bread if you want to unsubscribe from Panera
Another
Bread.
evil
Just as
corporation.
evil.
Oh my goodness gracious!
$17 salad. You get 3 pieces of lettuce and 1 olive.
Hey, you've been
And
undercharged.
maybe a piece of chicken.
Maybe, if you're lucky.
Talk-
That's an accident.
Talking about Apple as well, you bringing them up. Have you seen the forecast for the new iPhone is not great.
No, I
They're
don't
saying-
pay attention.
I know you're not an Apple user. I am an Apple user. I have Apple everything apart from the TV because it got struck by lightning and ruined, and they won't give me a new one. So basically, they're saying that the Apple iPhone 8 or X or whatever they want to call it is getting very it's going to be very expensive. It's going to be like $1,000 when it's launched, which is just crazy for a.
That is crazy.
And they're saying that people are just not going to go for it. They reckon it's going to be like a 9%.
Are they still doing the Bluetooth earbuds only?
I have no idea, but it's just been really interesting because, actually, Forbes magazine and a website have been using it a lot to say the interest behind it. There is interest, but people are like, it's if you're quoting us this price, there's really not going to be an uptake in it.
I don't know what Apple or Android could bring to the table new anyway.
I think it's just projection. If you can have a phone, I'd love my phone to be able to pick it up and put it in a stand and project onto a wall.
Well, you can if you put it in a shoebox.
Yes, but how often do you have a shoebox just handy lying around?
Every time I buy shoes.
Well, you obviously go to
How often
fancy
are you
shoe
buying
stores.
shoes?
I mean, at Walmart, they just come in off the rack.
Yeah, I don't see either one of these phone companies bringing anything new to the table. I think they brought everything they can with the virtual 3D. What else can we do to these phones to make them any different?
I really don't know because as well, there's so much stuff on them that you just don't use.
Now they're getting rid of features that people do use.
Like the call button. You're no longer going to be able to call on a phone. You're just going to be able to text. I'm just going to... The phone is no longer a phone. It's just going back to a very fancy pager. So that's the way we're going to go in life.
Well, on that note, we're at our hour.
That's
So you can catch us on TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Podcast Garden. Join our Facebook group. We share it with the Over the Line show. It's a closed group. Just ask to join. And that's it. That's our week. We got to find a replacement for Nicole next week.
Maybe Irma can stand in for Nicole next week.
Yeah. If we're not here next week, we all died in the hurricane.
That's a sad way to go.
That's-
We'll just fade to silence now.
Okay, maybe we didn't all die, but maybe we
I'll
didn't have electricity to record.
I'll survive, so I'll record a podcast and tell everybody what happened to you all.
Oh, look at that.
See?
The cat lady.
I bet she'll do homework that week.
Yeah.
I will. That'll be my homework.
She's not, I'm sorry, you guys aren't going to be here. I'm sorry you're all dead. She says, I'll just do it without you.
You're going to play Dead or Alive without us? Are they dead or are they alive?
I'm Chris.
I'm Nicole.
I'm James.
And I'm JL.
And I'm Irma.
Bye.